So these were a pair of shoes I wasn't expecting this year. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It's your boy Danny back with another review, and in today's review I am going to be going over the latest collaboration between PEACEMINUSONE and Nike. In front of us today we do have the Paranoise 3.0s. Now, if you don't know what PEACEMINUSONE is, this is the 5th collaboration between the brand and Nike, and it is the Korean rapper G-Dragon's personal brand. So it's his brand to kind of push his levels of creativity, his art, things that really relate to him as a person. So these did release at $200, which is maybe a breaking point for a lot of people. I completely understand that. I'm gonna go ahead and get these out the box. The whole point of this video is to review the release, the shoe itself, compare them to the previous releases, but we're just gonna get into it. All right, shoes out the box, pretty interesting. Again, I was mentioning I wasn't expecting these at all. There wasn't really anything on the radar until probably midway through this year. So, I mean, that's kind of cool if you think about leaks. So here we have the Paranoise 3.0. When it comes to PEACEMINUSONE and their journey with Nike, they have now 3 Air Force Ones. So they have 1.0 that released in 2019. This pair right here specifically, it's just all black with that white. Then they have the 2.0. I have not worn these yet, but these are just all white, like inverse. Then they have these, which are the Quando ones. Those released in 2 colorways. In 2021, an all white pair came out, and then in 2023, or I think towards the end of 22, I think it was 23, a panda colorway release, which was terrible timing for them, I'm not gonna lie. Now 2024, we have these. So going over the sneakers just a little bit, we do have an all black upper, Air Force Ones. Really cool. Now, this is an all leather sneaker. You have leather hits everywhere, but the entire upper is painted with a thin layer of black paint. Underneath, you do have the graffiti. If you've seen any of the previous videos or have any of the previous releases, same exact thing in regards of like the 1.0 and the 2.0, these will be in the same lane. And I must say, anywhere that doesn't have paint, so like this heel tab right here, the tongue right here, and then these swooshes, it's a very nice tumbled leather. I do wish the entire sneaker was coated like that, but I do understand tumbled leather would give that texture away in terms of like the quality of the paint. That would make the concept even harder to like execute. Now, the biggest difference between 3.0s and 1.0s is that these have different swooshes everywhere. So this is the left shoe. On the outside, we do have this hot pink. We do have this gale blue on the inside. And on the right shoe, we do have this new emerald, completely different from these blues. And then they have on the inside this Tor yellow. You should be familiar with Tor yellow. They do use it on a couple of Air Jordans, a couple of Nikes. So it's not like a new color. We do have these marks throughout the entire sole. So these are just like Sharpie marks, paint marks, graffiti marks. The whole sole is like that as well. And they're both pretty similar. If you're wondering what it looks like when it gets dirty, it kind of looks like that. Nothing too crazy. I've worn these like a couple times. I took them to Seattle, haven't worn them since. Interesting, this is what a scuff looks like. This cracks. This can come off and show the paint underneath, but arguably if you do wear them naturally, this is like one of the hardest parts to actually crack. So the whole concepts of these, very cool. I personally love them. I knew I had to get a pair. This is my wife's pair. I was able to get them locally, and then I got my pair through sneakers. Those haven't arrived yet, so unfortunately no on feet for this video. But these do have kind of a glisten to them that the other ones didn't. I don't think I can actually show it in the video, but you see how this paint kind of just shimmers in the light? Well, this one doesn't as much. It's a little more matted and a little more dull. I guess it's just the way, like 4 years of difference when it comes to this concept and how they decide to execute it. So what's underneath all the paint is an actual graphic or art piece that G-Dragon himself has done. It's this right here. This is what they look like stripped. That's the same artwork that's on the insoles of these, the 2.0s and the 1.0s. If I were to grab acetone and completely wipe all of them right now, they would all just look the same with different swooshes. And I was kind of hoping he'd maybe give us a different color, maybe a different upper, not necessarily these swoosh colors, but I do like that the swooshes mimic the artwork itself. The artwork has been here on the side of the box the entire time. Here we have life. And then on the other side, we have the continuation of his art piece. It's one big piece. I don't think I've ever seen like the full version of it. I'll look for it if I can, and I'll add it if I can. So if you notice, each one is a different letter for this life right here. They opted red out though. Red was the friends and family color for the 1.0s. So instead they gave us like hot pink. But here's that gale blue right at the bottom. Here's that emerald for the E, and then the Tor yellow for the I. Another little detail we can talk about is the PEACEMINUSONE logo right here, which is that daisy. Now, if you think about the name Peace Minus One, the whole concept of this is peace. But we're missing that one part to get there. So the daisy is supposed to represent peace, supposed to represent hope, but it's missing that final part. I gotta give it to the guy. He's pretty creative when it comes to what he wants to execute in his vision. It's something I actually recently learned when I was researching for these. I didn't really know that about the 1.0 and 2.0s. Very great shoe to have. This is the part of the video where I want to talk about maybe why these aren't doing so well. And of course, I'm using factors of are they selling, are they not selling, as are they doing well. They sold out, so technically they're doing better than like 80% of what Nike and Air Jordan have stock at the GR level. But as a collaboration, you always do want to see maybe a little bit movement in the aftermarket and the collector zone, because it kind of shows that even though people missed out on the initial release, they're still actively trying to get the pair. Like, the want is there. And for some people, that's really all that matters, which is a crazy thing to say. So, but what I mean by that is these have an insanely high retail, which off the bat could turn some people off. Mismatching swooshes, another thing that could turn people off compared to like the first two releases. Those, in my opinion, did really well. 1.0 were the best ones, 2.0s, people kind of but I really like them as well. And I'll admit, I like these. I'm not gonna let poor resale affect the fact that I really love this concept, but it is something worth mentioning. Another thing that I think kind of affected these were that custom model that he did with Nike. So the Quando ones, they just didn't have the best reception. They're not something people here in the US really enjoy. Maybe if you're someone who dresses really casual, really formal, goes to work, maybe you want to throw those on. But like everyday life streetwear, I just didn't see it working out. But maybe in places like Korea, maybe like Tokyo, they pull it off. They pull it off amazingly, but we're just not seeing that here at this level. Another little conspiracy I have is probably the lack of leaks. So the first leaked photo of these I saw was June of this year. So the end of June, right after the Panthers won the Stanley Cup, I saw actual leaked pairs. But then I started looking at the production date of these. These started producing in March. So 6-month turnaround roughly. I think they stopped producing in May. That's pretty quick for Nike in my opinion. I don't know if there were a ton of pairs of these, but honestly that just hurts the demand aspect of it even more. But the fact that there wasn't a lot of like hype building on these was kind of crazy. I feel like maybe that kind of hurt the demand for these. It kind of made them slip under the radar. So it is arguable, do these leaks necessarily help Nike / Jordan brand in the long run? But then again, you look at and Years. We saw leaks of those a year ago. We saw leaks of those when they weren't even attached to the sole. But those, the first part of those Air Jordan 3s, they're raised by women's, did technically win Sneaker of the Year in 2021 in most people's eyes. So maybe that's why those leaked so early, because of just engagement, money, etc. These I still think fell under so many people's radar, it's insane. So final thoughts before I just keep rambling on. I think this set is spectacular, but if we do see a 4.0 and it's just black, or just like white with these colors, it does give the impression that it's just a little lazy. Now, if they were to grab this concept and put it on like another sneaker, like a Dunk, like some Air Maxes, that would actually be pretty insane. Now, Air Maxes, don't hold me on that. That actually sounds insanely hard to conceptualize if I really think about it. But the thought is there, you know, give us something new, give us a pair of blazers. All leather blazers aren't exactly new to this world, but just evolving the concept and pushing it forward is something I kind of hope. I don't think this is the end, or if this is the end for this specific concept and he moves on to something else with Nike, that'd be super sick. And that's probably where I'm gonna end this video. Thank you for tuning in. Final thoughts again. If you don't have a pair, get these for basically retail off a reseller that's like desperate to get rid of them. If you're an Air Force One lover, you won't be mad. If you like G-Dragon, you won't be mad. These, in my opinion, are 100% worth it. All right, I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode. Sorry for no on feet. I'll try to update you guys with a short, like reel or something, or YouTube short. Trying them on and wearing them with fits when my pair actually arrives. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making it this far. And if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Peace. Let me get these out of here.